Chapter 20. Tahra woke up excited for her birthday and thankful she could spend it at home with her dearest family. She knew celebrating it at the Sia paper would have been fun, but it could never compare to being home with her family. Tahra figured Lacey would have done something silly, and Carrie would have constructed a melody for the birds to play. Nicole and Snowflake probably would have performed a show, and maybe some other creatures would add to it as well. Kate was still sleeping, for she likes to sleep in on Saturdays. If she could have gotten up earlier, she would have loved to help set up for Tahra's birthday party, but she was knocked out. At least she was able to help with the planning beforehand. Both Beth and Nick had been up already for an hour and a half preparing to make Tahra's birthday the best one ever. To them, it wasn't only a birthday party, but also a welcome-back party. Tahra staggered down the stairs, still in her pajamas. "Happy birthday, sweetie," Beth greeted with a warm smile. Just then the phone rang. She walked over and answered it. "Hello? Oh, hi, Jennifer. You'll be here in 2 hours? Great. Carabella will be at our house. Take care. See you later." An hour later, Kate woke up and came downstairs, excited to celebrate her sister's birthday. Tahra had changed out of her pajamas at that point. A knocking came from the door. It was Carabella. "Jennifer called saying she'll be here in an hour," Beth informed her. Carabella was bursting with energy that Kate had never seen. Carabella had spent hours with Wolfina last night preparing for today. Over and over again, Wolfina reassured Carabella it would go well, but still, for some reason, she was nervous. It had been so many years since she had last seen her twin sister. Carabella imagined it would be a little awkward after so much had changed. Beth offered Carabella to sit in a chair as she waited for her sister's arrival, but she was too anxious. She could hardly sit still and was pacing back and forth. Tahra was trying to talk to her to calm her down or at least help her relax, but it wasn't working too well. Tahra tried another tactic and tried changing the subject. "How did you survive by yourself for so long?" "Wolfina, my wolf mother," Carabella answered quickly, clearly not wanting to talk really at all. Tahra nodded but let out a sigh. She knew her methods were not going to work this time. She looked to Kate for guidance or to take over the conversation, but Kate only shrugged with a smile. An hour quickly passed by, and Carabella saw Jennifer coming up the path towards the house. She immediately ran out the door as though all her worries and nerves disappeared. Tahra and Kate watched from the window. They could see the joy and excitement bursting from both Carabella and Jennifer. It was like two halves separated being joined together once again. Then again, they were twins. "Tahra, Kate, are you ready to begin the fun of today?" asked Nick as he and Beth entered the room. They both nodded delightfully. "Great! Our first activity takes place outside." Tahra looked out the window one more time and saw Carabella and Jennifer happily skipping away, arms wrapped around each other. They looked like two little kids playing together. Outside, hanging from a tree branch, was a piñata in the shape of a flower. The flower had pink petals and a yellow center. Out of nowhere, Charmaine and Liliana appeared. "I hope you don't mind we asked them to join us today," explained Beth. "Not at all," Tahra replied, glad to see her best friends were there to join in the fun. "Happy birthday, Sunshine," Charmaine beamed. Charmaine often called Tahra Sunshine because Tahra was always brightening her day and everyone else's as well. "Tahra, you go first, and Kate, you go last for beating me at everything last Saturday," declared Nick in a serious yet sarcastic tone. To make the event more fun, they had to wear a blindfold and spin in a circle at least 3 times. After all 4 took their first turn, there wasn't even a crack in it. Round 2, Liliana cracked it a little bit, as with ice, a small crack would always end up breaking bigger. Kate hit it very hard, which made it crack more. When Tahra's turn came, the piñata was already swinging back and forth. She hit it with all her might, and somehow she hit it straight on. The flower split open. Tahra hit it so hard that the string holding it even snapped. The piñata went flying and landed on Nick's head. The cardboard made his voice sound muffled. "I didn't know I would become a stem today. I thought I was the roots that held this family together." Tahra couldn't tell if he was upset or if he was just playing around, but figured he was only teasing. "Sorry, Dad," called Tahra, giggling. "You're fine, Tahra. Your shining light always brightens each and every day." Tahra blushed like a rose from her father's dear words. It was obvious they had missed her very much and were more than happy to see she had returned safe. Once all the piñata was picked up and Nick informed, "One of you picked up a piece of paper. The paper contains a riddle. The others who did not get it must remain silent and cannot help the one with it, but may watch." Tahra happened to be the one who got it. She read it out loud. I am near something you can sit on. I have a face and hands, and I am tall. Tahra knew it was referring to the grandfather clock, right aside of the armchair, nearly immediately. Wedged in the door of the clock was another piece of paper. I'm not a house, but to some they call it home. I am made of wood and have 4 living sections. It took a minute before Tahra realized it was referring to the stable. On Crystal's gate latch was a light yellow sticky note. Once again, Tahra read it out loud. Here is your final clue. I sit in a cube on a royal purple fuzzy thing made to keep you warm. I am on a place where you like to rest at the end of each day. Tahra thought it meant her bed, but wondered what it meant by in a cube. Could it be referring to her pillow, even though it wasn't a cube? Tahra entered her room to find a box on her bed wrapped in sparkly gold paper. She opened the box. Inside was the whole collection of books from her favorite book series. How did you know I would get the paper? She questioned her parents. Beth was the first to reply. Simple. The others knew you had to get it, so you would get your present. You were kneeling right by it and didn't notice, so I put it in your bag, added Charmaine. Tahra glanced at her with a look that said, How did I not see you do that? Charmaine only smiled back, but knew exactly what Tahra had been thinking, but honestly didn't even know the answer. Now it is time for cake, declared Nick, speaking for the first time in a while. Dad, it's 12 o'clock lunchtime, stated Tahra, looking at the clock beside of her bed. I know, we are going to have fruit and cake for lunch. Although Tahra knew that wasn't the best thing to eat for lunch, she figured Nick was doing it this way because he had a lot more plans for the rest of the magical day. Beth put on the big, beautiful cake on the table. The cake had white icing covering the whole area. On top of the white were vines and flowers symbolizing Tahra's love for nature. Beth lit the candles and turned off the light. Everyone began singing Happy Birthday. When the song finished, there was a pause as Tahra made her wish. I wish for the best in the future, although her wish was not really specific. It was simple, and she was simply hoping her future would be spent with her family. Then Tahra blew out the tiny flames. She got them all on her first try, which rarely happened for her. Beth removed the candles and cut the cake in the close to equal pieces. As you eat your cake, I will read a short book I've written on birthdays a while back, explained Beth, sitting down on the armchair aside of the clock. The girls and Nick sat down on the floor in front of Beth, getting ready to hear a story none of them had ever heard before. Beth finished reading the short story she wrote, and Tahra claimed amazed, Oh, Mom, that story was absolutely wonderful. Thanks, Tahra, Beth replied, honored. Now what are we going to do? Sought Kate curiously. Well, I was thinking, if Tahra doesn't mind, we could all go to the Sea of Paper, responded Beth. She had really wanted to see it ever since Tahra described how incredible it was. Now that's a great idea, agreed Tahra without hesitation. She would get to spend her birthday with the creatures at the Sea of Paper after all, and with her family too. What could possibly be better? They all went up to Tahra's room, and she showed them the lyrics. Then she said, Try your best to meet the melody and tune of the song. They all began singing and quickly got down the rhythm and the beat of the song. While all this was happening, back at the Sea of Paper, Lacey and Carrie were still complaining. Tahra will never come back, whined Lacey in a whispering voice so Nicole wouldn't hear her. Carrie nodded, not knowing what else to reply. Just then there was a bright flash. Tahra, you came back, cried Lacey, as though it had been 1,000 years. Lacey said it so loud all the creatures heard her and their heads popped up. They came out and gathered around, happy to see their princess had returned. I would like to introduce all of you to my mom, Beth, my dad, Nick, and my sister, Kate. Wait. Where is she? Beth and Nick frantically gazed around, terrified she now was going to disappear for a week. Then the family spotted her lying on the sand. Her older sister walked over and saw she was fast asleep. Then Tahra recalled how the sparkles had put her to sleep the first time she came. She figured Beth and Nick managed to remain awake because they were older and could fight it easier. Gently, she laid her hand on Kate's shoulder and spoke, Kate, dear, wake up. You won't want to miss this. Very slowly, her eyes opened and she shifted to her side. She blocked the blinding sunlight with her arm and squinted at Tahra. What happened? She asked. The portal put you to sleep. It happened when I came here the first time too, but now I'm used to the magic. Oh, wow, Kate cried as the island around her came into focus. Tahra giggled and then looked at her best friends. She saw Liliana yawn, but she managed to stay awake. Charmaine seemed to be alert and not even slightly drowsy. Returning to the introductions, Tara stated, "These are my two friends, Liliana and Charmaine." "Today is not an ordinary day because it's Tara's birthday," announced Beth, in case the creatures were unaware. Lacey immediately ran off into the jungle of the forest, and no one knew where she was going or for what. She came back a moment later with a large cake. Tara figured she made it out of origami. Lacey held it up for Tara and leaped up. She splattered it all over purposely. Tara happened to have her arms out. Ella and Bella flew down and grabbed Tara's arms. They flew over the sea of paper and released her. Tara plummeted straight into the clear water. She was thankful the water washed the cake off, though. She and the dolphins decided to put on a show for everyone and demonstrate what the sea of paper creatures were capable of. Tara was excited to show everyone what Nicole had taught her while she was here and share her little world with them. After the show, everyone took a break to eat dinner. Tara led her family and friends down to her kitchen and had them seated around the large dining table. Tara pulled out a few sheets of paper and showed them all how magical this place was and made dinner out of origami. Charmaine was a little hesitant about eating something that was literally made out of paper, but she decided to try it anyway, and it surprisingly tasted nothing like paper. By the time they finished, the sun had begun to set. Tara sat on the sand with her family by her side, and Liliana and Charmaine. Charmaine and Liliana wrapped their arms around Tara, and then so did her family. They were all sitting with their arms wrapped around the person beside them. Lacey and Carrie were sitting nearby, completely content. It was certainly a perfect evening. Every creature was smiling. The wind chimes were playing gently in the background, but that was the only sound. Everyone was too busy enjoying the moment to complain at all. "Today has been a wonderful birthday," Tara declared with the largest smile on her face. The sunset was the absolute best Tara had seen yet at the sea of paper, reflecting her emotions. The sky was lit up orange, streaked with violet mixed with pink. The sun was behind a cloud, which made the cloud look like it was on fire as the streaks of the sun stretched out from behind the cloud, reaching for the world. Tara thought nothing could be better than watching a beautiful, peaceful sunset with her family and best friends right at her side. This definitely was a birthday she would forever remember. It was perfect in every way. All of a sudden, a loud rumbling roar shook the silence, and it began to downpour. "Are you kidding me?" shouted Tara, and then burst into laughter, followed by everyone else.